Hey, thanks for joining us today on the Peskies Pest Control Podcast. As you know, if you've listened to our podcast any amount of time, we do an occasional local business spotlight where we talk to either a local business owner, a local business representative from our area, just to kind of hear what they've got going on and hear about their business and what it is they do and how they can help our clients too. Today, I am lucky enough to have with me Miss Michelle Rawls, who is a realtor with Real Broker. Michelle, how are you today?
I'm fantastic, Travis. It's so good to be here.
Yeah, thank you for joining us today. Springtime is on its way in. Possibly. Alabama is so unpredictable with its weather. It has so many ups and downs. But from what I understand in our previous conversations that you and I have had, that's kind of when the real estate market starts cooking. Am I right?
You are absolutely correct. We are starting to see an influx of movement on the in the market on the MLS. So we're about to head into our spring season where we're going to start seeing some more inventory. So I'm really excited. At the moment, I'm just planting seeds and nurturing those seeds because I know that by springtime, we're going to start seeing a lot more movement.
Awesome. Well, so kind of paint the picture for us. What got you into real estate and how did you eventually find your way over to Real Broker?
Sure. So I lived abroad. I graduated from AUM with a business degree, and I went overseas and worked for a couple of years. And COVID brought me back to the States. Well, I have a background in sales, and I love sales. So it just kind of seems like a really great fit. And it's really taken me to a lot of cool places. So I'm really, I've really enjoyed it, and the fact that I get to help clients and first time home buyers is it's just super rewarding as well.
Awesome. So give us a little about yourself here. Beyond enjoying sales and enjoying real estate, what are some things that you like to do, your passions, your hobbies, things that you do outside of work?
I love to travel. So I'm super passionate about traveling. I feel very proud to say that I was able to step foot on all seven continents. And
Awesome.
I've been to like a bunch of different countries all over the world. And even domestically here in the US, it's beautiful. So I love road trips and catching flights and, experiencing different festivals and hiking. I love the outdoors. So I'm, very active outside. So when I'm not selling real estate, you can find me in the woods or traveling or just spending time with friends and family.
Awesome. All right. So you like to make your rounds all over the world. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So tell us what makes Real Broker stand out from other real estate companies in the Montgomery area where you're at, and what are some of the advantages that Real Broker brings with you to the clients that you guys serve?
Sure. So, Real Broker is one of the fastest growing companies in North America. And because of that, the access of training is top notch. And I think that as an agent, it's super important to continually learn and sharpen your skills. And that's kind of what, sets you apart from the competition is just being able to negotiate and how to handle, tough clients and tough markets. So I love the fact that my brokerage provides the training. They also have incentives with, commission splits, revenue. It's publicly traded. So if you want to utilize that, it's a great way to make additional money. There's opportunities for leadership if you want to start a team or if you want to sponsor another agent. So I love how there's just different facets of it that can provide more income than some other agencies could do.
Right. It sounds like there's a lot of opportunity, a lot of growth, and a lot of great resources there for you as well as your other, other agents that you work with.
Absolutely. And the CEO and the leadership board with Real is just incredible and inspiring. And I think that good leaders, produce other good leaders. So I just feel really supported where I'm at, and just the wealth of knowledge that I've learned and received has just been incredible. I feel like it's really elevated my career. So I'm, very happy that I've made, the choice to be working with Real Broker.
Awesome. So in my current life, I have only ever went out and purchased a home one time, which is currently the home that we live in. It was for sale by owner. It was kind of a very unique experience, especially being the very first home that my wife and I purchased. And like I said, we're still in that house today. But thinking about that, thinking about the individuals that you represent as sellers or buyers, what are some common mistakes that you see maybe first time home buyers make, and maybe what are some tips that they could do to avoid those mistakes?
I guess to get started, Alabama is a buyer beware state. I always tell my clients, get a home inspection. You want to make sure that you really understand, what you're getting into in terms of how the house functions, and maybe could prevent, issues in having repairs done on the front end. So I always tell my clients, um, get a home inspection. That's number one. And then, another big thing to look out for, as a, if you're looking to purchase your first property, is have a good lender. I tell my clients that real estate is a team sport. So, really working with a lender to kind of help with the financing, and then, I help negotiate the terms of the agreement. But just having a strong team of an agent as well as a lender to support you, I think just like relieves a lot of stress that purchasing a home um, can provide. So I really advocate for, just building a good team.
Awesome. Yeah, we always tell our clients, definitely get reputable, thorough inspections done. Of course, like you mentioned, home inspections. Of course,
W
our company, yeah, WIR is our company, does many, many wood infestation reports. Um, because I always talk to my clients about it this way: your home is most likely your most expensive investment across the board, more than vehicles. They're usually your most expensive investment. So I always say, don't cheap out on your home, because you will regret it later on down the road.
Absolutely. Do your due diligence, and that is including inspections, whether it's your WIR or home inspection or septic inspection. You're absolutely right.
Right. So thinking about it from the opposite side, not from the buyer's side, but from the seller's side, what are some tips that you might would have for someone who's getting ready to, like we said, spring's coming, the market's going to heat up, someone's interested in selling their home? What are some tips maybe that you can recommend to get their house ready to list, and maybe get them the best price for their home?
Absolutely. So, with working with me, for example, I use professional photography when listing properties. I feel most of the time people are bringing the deals to me, the houses that they like, and that's just, pictures really create an idea of what, they're getting. So having professional photography, I think, is super important, just especially because it's on Zillow and realtor.com. And then, as well as just like, make sure you're maintaining everything. You service your HVAC if you need to, do any service items on the front end. Make sure that you declutter. So have a yard sale, get rid of a bunch of stuff that you're not going to need. Make sure all the light bulbs are the same. Like, just little tweaks can make some big changes, as well as, like, it also is a good selling point, the fact that you've done this, or maintained this system is really good to have done prior to listing your home.
Right. And, it's like that old saying, a picture's worth 1,000 words. But not only that, a first impression is everything. I think that's vastly important. I like the reference about the professional photography. I really feel like that is a huge ordeal that you should go ahead and spend the money on, because I even myself have Zillow on my phone. I'm not looking for a home actively, but there are times when I'll drive by somewhere and go, oh, wow, that house is for sale. I wonder what it looks like inside. And I guess just really being nosy.
Yeah.
And it's really putting your best foot forward to make that first impression, whether it's an open house, whether it's an online listing. It really does make a difference. So what would you say, how important is it for a client to work with a local real estate agent as opposed to trying to navigate it on their own?
Absolutely. So we're trained as agents, to negotiate, to advocate. Purchasing a property is, it's you mentioned it before, it's your biggest asset. So you want to make sure that you have somebody in your corner that knows the market, that can help you navigate the paperwork, because you are signing a legal contract. And there's a lot of legal jargon in there. And if you don't know what you're signing, or you don't even know maybe necessarily the things that you should be asking for or looking for. And so I really think that it's important that you have a representative that's going to lead you and be there to answer any questions that you may have that you might not think about. So that's what I would recommend, is why you should use a local agent that understands the market and the rules of the state of Alabama or any states.
I think you also too, with a local realtor, not even just the market and the rules, but you're talking about specific areas. Just imagine yourself as buying a house and coming from out of town and not knowing anything about that local area, and just being able to have that realtor not only show you homes that fit your budget and that fit the criteria of space and whatnot, but also be able to recommend other service providers, other local areas, maybe areas that you should stay away from. Just all of that local knowledge, I think, is important too when you're looking for a home, because you don't just buy the home, you buy the whole area that it's in as well. So you really want to put your best foot forward and get somebody that knows the area. Well, Michelle, if someone were to want to get in touch with you, say they're interested in buying or selling a home, how would they do that?
Absolutely. If somebody wants to get in touch with me, they can reach me directly at 334-400-0627. I'm also on social media, Facebook and Instagram. Just search Michelle Rawls, and then you can always personally email me, shell.realbroker@gmail.com.
Well, awesome. Well, Michelle, thank you for carving out some time today to be with us, to talk about the real estate market and to talk about Real Broker. We greatly appreciate it. And of course, if you have any more questions for Michelle, we highly encourage you to reach out to her with the contact information. And if you have any questions, she'll be more than happy to answer them. But again, thank you, Michelle, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you so much. It's been really fun.
Hello, and thank you for listening to another edition of the Peskies Pest Control Podcast with your hosts, Travis and Michael. If you have any questions in reference to what we discussed today, give us a call at 334-595-9055, and you can ask for me, Travis McGowin. I'll be more than happy to speak with you. Make sure you share this podcast with your friends and family, and subscribe to us on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, and any of the other major streaming platforms. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.
Google Peskies Pest Control Montgomery. Number